Yeah. What's good people? You're tuned in to Lab Notes, and I am the one-man gang, talking to artists from around the world, all genres, all independent, all the time. Today I'm chopping it up with the artist that's been on my radar for a while, man. Ever since back in the day when he dropped the Can It Be single or whatnot. I'm talking about the Keystone Crooner. I'm talking about the Broad Street Baritone. He puts the Phil in Philharmonic, and he's got one of the dopest soulful records out there on the circuit right now. One time for your mind, allow me to welcome to the lab my man Mel Alston Jr. What's good, baby?
Appreciate you, fam. Man,
No doubt.
Everything great, man. Outside of this, you know what I mean, Corona, stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everything going good. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely motivated, man. Still working on a lot of new music. So, a lot to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of, everything that's going on right now in the world.
Nah, that's what's up right there, man. You know what, though? But the cool thing about everything that's happening is it allows people like you and I that may be miles away from each other, right? We both from Philly, and we're miles away from each other, and we're able to connect with each other to talk about something that we both obviously love, which is music. So it's sort of like a blessing in disguise, I guess you can say.
That's true, man. Definitely, but super bright side.
Yeah, man, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 10 o'clock in the morning here.
Okay, wow.
No doubt, man. Well, we got
that's what's up, though.
We got a bunch of people that joined the chat, so we appreciate everybody that came through. We had a couple folks that was waiting, but hopefully they'll come back. And I told them, I said, hey, make sure everybody, if you're there, drop a question down in the chat. I will definitely get to it and read it. But first, we're gonna start off with some questions that I have from Mr. Mel Alston Jr. Okay. All right, so I like to start off every interview trying to get to know the origin story behind an artist. So everybody has an origin story, and I'm sure everybody here wants to hear yours. So take us back to the very beginning. What was life like growing up in Philly?
Growing up in Philly. See, we was around a time, it's weird, like, I don't know, like, they do the whole, I guess, Generation XY stuff. See, right. I'm like a late 70s, early 80s baby. So, like, right. We was still around a time where, like, you would be inside, but we'd be outside all day long. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm from that era where, like, you pretty much outside all day long. Then it was, like, right before the, like, video game explosion. Right. So we was kind of, like, on, both of those cusps of being outside all day. And like, oh, man, we can play video games and do all this, too. So,
yeah.
I think our era was, like, kind of like the perfect blend between the two, being able to, you know what I'm saying? Because at a time like this, people like, man, I don't know what to do. And we was like, man, this ain't nothing for us, because we were kind of, before all the computers and internet and all that, like, we, used to make up your own stuff to do, so, growing up, I, was pretty much in that era, but, like, as a kid, I was, like, into comedy a whole lot.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, I was real good at, like, imitating people's voices a lot, so I was, like, the class clown kid, like, I'd be sitting next to the teacher, because I'd be imitating her all the time, just really, like, enjoyed making people laugh. So, like, when I really started out in music, it was really kind of to, like, make people laugh, like, have, like, older songs, like, make up my own words to it. Right. And it was really to make people laugh, like, kind of like imitate other singers doing it. And then, like, probably I say, like, really wasn't until, like, my early 20s when I had, like, a girlfriend that I was dating at the time. Like, I sang to her, kind of like joking around, and then she like started crying. It's like, well, damn, she's crying. Maybe this might be kind of good. So, then it's like growing up, like, I was kind of like, I was the middle child, so I was kind of quiet. Like, I had a real bad speech impediment when I was a kid. So, like, my mom was always trying to find ways to get me to kind of, I guess, be more outgoing, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So like, first I had a piano teacher when I was actually 6. Like, I had a blind piano teacher that really wasn't too far from the house. Like, he was, like, off of Cheltenham Ave.
Oh, okay. Oh, you from around the way?
Yeah.
Oh, snap! You from around the way? My bad, man. Please keep. All right, word. Yeah. My bad. Continue. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's cool. So, like, started off with piano around 6. Did that for, like, a few years, and then, like, a cousin of mine had a trumpet that before that, then this was at a time where like they had bands in middle school.
Right.
So like when I was in 5th grade, I played trombone for like a year, chasing after this girl that I liked at that age. You know what I mean? Like she played clarinet, so I was like, yo, man, I need to get in the band so I can be close to my, you know what I mean? Like one of the things. And then after that, I really didn't keep up with it too much. So then after that, my mom got me a trumpet because it was like, you know what I mean? Like the trombone was real big. And
Right.
I mean, she got me a trumpet because my cousin wasn't using it. So she got me that, you know. So I played that for like several years, all the way up to when I went to Howard University for college. Like I played in the marching band a couple years there. So like, so I played a couple instruments as a kid. So I felt like between that and like just, you know, having a love for music, loving to kind of like act out and like imitate people. Like I always had kind of like a knack for like entertainment, so to speak. So played in the marching band a couple years, and that was kind of tough because I still had braces at the time. So if you can imagine, you know, I'm playing trumpet, you got braces in your mouth. You know what I mean? I couldn't be like one of the screamers because I couldn't, you know what I mean? I could only press it, but so
right.
but so much before I had all these indentations, you know what I mean, inside of my mouth. So, you know what I mean? But that was dope because playing in the marching band, like Howard was like a traveling band. So we would go, for the most part, it was East Coast and like Midwest.
Okay.
We like traveled a lot. Actually, both of those years we traveled a lot. So that was 98, 99. So after that, finished school. Like I really wasn't doing music a whole lot after that. More so was looking for work. You know what I'm saying? Like that was time looking for work. And then started attending church. And then I got into doing plays. Because like the church that I was attending at the time did like a lot of musical plays. So like, if I could come back, like, I tried out for that, got that joint, just singing Amazing Grace. I mean, like they loved it. I got that joint, did a couple shows, and like after that, people was like, so when's the album dropping? And it was like at the time, I wasn't thinking about the album. I was just, you know what I mean, just pretty much singing.
Right.
And then after that, I actually went back to Howard for homecoming. You know what that's it for. So like a friend of mine, this cat named Lee, who was in the same dorm that I was in, Slow Hall, shout out to Slow Hall. And he was there, and like after we finished school, he got heavy into production, which is funny because like my last year there, like I will never forget, he came by my dorm room with this cassette tape that basically talked about how all these producers, where they got their samples from. And it's like I didn't realize how easy I was able to pick up on stuff because they would play like this old sample. I'd be like, hold on, Tribe Called Quest used that, and they play another like, hold on, Tribe used that one, and they play no, the Pete Rock used that one, and then they play with another. Oh man, DJ Premier used that. I was like, oh, this is kind of dope. So you know what I mean? So like when I went back from homecoming, he was like heavy deep into it, gave me the CD. He was like, yo man, check some of my stuff out. So it was like after that, that's when I really started to get more serious into it because I felt like before I never had like a blank canvas, so to speak. It's just like when you have an instrumental, not that it's a blank canvas, but it's like there's no words, there's no harmonies over it. So you kind of start like, yo, I wonder how this would sound. Maybe I should, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Write something to this genre. So like when I first started writing, it was like, you know, it was like I love hip hop. I love R&B, but like from a writing standpoint, I was like writing from like a hip hop kind of cadence. Right. So like if you can imagine all these words in one verse, it's like, yo, but you know, I'm supposed to be singing. Let's cut some of these words out so I can glide a little bit. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like that was the move then. So but even with that, I really didn't start recording heavy till like 2010, 2011. Even through all that. So that's at the time where I had actually got married 2007, got divorced like a year later. Then I was staying with my cousin. And so I would say during that period, that's where it's like really like a soul searching period when I was like, man, how am I really going to go about this? Because I love to sing. You know, at the time I even had like a few songs where it's like it was so, I guess, organic, like where like tears would come to my eyes singing the joint. I was like, man, I need to put myself in a position where I could do this. So, you know what I mean? That's when we started getting like, you know what I mean? Like all the equipment, microphone and stuff like that, studio stuff, and just record and just to see where, you know what I mean, everything goes. So like, that's where that first project that you heard with the Can It Be on it, that was like, trying to figure out which direction that I'm going, because like that project I kind of took offline, because like if you really listen to it, it's almost like 3 different vibes on like one project. Like the first 3 songs, three or 4 songs are like on a vibe, and then the next 3 or 4 are kind of like on a different vibe, and then the last 4 is like on this vibe. So I was like, you know what, I kind of like that. Maybe I should take these down and just like do that from a, you know what I mean, from a bigger standpoint.
Right.
Trying to stick with those vibes. But like from there, that's where I met my man Willie Stone, like several other brothers, Law, G, Jizlo, you know, so many people, Sap Sounds, Lay Road. We actually had a team called The Circle at the time, where we was just pretty much just like encouraging each other to really stick with it. Cause I think, I mean, I think at the time I was kind of like curious about music, because it's like, you know, you hear so many stories about like artists that have been through certain things and you know, wanting to achieve certain levels. So it's like going into it, I was trying to, I guess, soak up as much as possible so I could have like a realistic game plan and like a realistic mindset about it. Because like a lot of people get into like, yeah man, I'm gonna get several Grammys and I'm gonna do this and do that. I was like, well, if that's the reason that you're doing it, then you know what I mean, go for that. But that's not always gonna be the case. Like it's gotta start from here. Like it's gotta start from the heart. It's got, you know what I mean, like a love associated with it. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep you going. Like if you're doing it for the Grammys or for the bread, and it's like you don't get it, then you like, well, I'm not getting this, so maybe I'll stop doing it.
Right.
Like, you know, you gotta have something that kind of keeps you grounded, keeps you motivated with it. Because you know what I mean, we got probably like 60, 65 songs we ain't even really get to yet. That's what you know what I mean, with the stuff that we do have out. So you know what I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like it's always something to look forward to. So I'm just trying to stay motivated with it, you know what I'm saying, one at a time. So but like from there, met all them fellas, and then just kind of put it together, man. Put movie music together, because it's like basically had a love for movies too.
Hey, you know like, what? I was really, you know what? Hold on. We're going to talk about movie music in just a moment, right? But I got you. Don't worry about it, because man, you taking all my interview questions. I'm like, I can't even get, you know, you going for it and whatnot, man. But what I want to do real quick, and I apologize for interrupting you. Normally I don't interrupt anybody, but because I got some specific questions about movie music that I want you to answer. But I also have some questions from down in the chat, and we had a question from, let's see. We had a question from Melise Speaks 05, and her question, and I think you kind of alluded to it, but her question was, how does he get his inspiration? And another question that she asked was, who were some people that influenced you as far as music is concerned?
Okay, so inspiration is interesting, because I think it's I guess from a standpoint of like coming up, like a lot of cats that I listened to was of course Michael Jackson, the King, Luther Vandross, Bobby Brown. What's funny is that the first CD my parents grabbed, like when CDs started popping, was the Boomerang soundtrack CD.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's when CDs exploded. So Boomerang soundtrack CD, and then Bobby Brown. So, but like growing up, yeah, my inspirations was more so Michael Jackson, Luther Vandross. Like my parents listened to that group where it was like your Karen Whites, Anita Bakers, Freddie Jackson, People Brysons, like those groupings of folks.
Right.
But what's weird is that it wasn't until I finished college and came back home and started like digging on my own when I like found out more about like your Donny Hathaways,
right,
and Gil Scott-Herons, Jimi Hendrix, and so I think influences is interesting because like it depends. Like I think how you're raised really plays a big part in it. Because like for example, not to get too far off track, but
go for it.
Eagles. I'm a Eagle Scout. I was in the Boy Scout for like several years growing up.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
so like we used to go to this camp called Treasure Island. So when I was there, I was mostly around white folks. So they listened to a lot of like, you know what I mean, rock and stuff like that. So that's how I got turned on to like Billy Joel and Elton John, Aerosmith, Nirvana, and like, you know, several other rock bands. Lenny Kravitz, even though he's black, I didn't get turned on to Lenny Kravitz until then. So I think really like the environment that you're raised in can kind of determine what your inspiration is with regard to music, because it's like sometimes I think that, man, why didn't y'all have Donny Hathaway around the house? Why didn't y'all have like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye house. Don't get me wrong, Luther Vandross was tough. Like Commodores, they was tough. LTD, they was tough. But it's like, why y'all had no Donny around the crib? Because
right.
I swear, man, when I finished school, like I was singing Donny Hathaway all day. I was like, man, I mean, this is old, but this is new to me.
Now, did your parents play any Philadelphia music while you were growing up, like Patti LaBelle or Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes? Being as though you're from Philadelphia.
They had Patti, the OJs, of course. The brother who somebody told me I looked like not too long ago. The drummer. Wow. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Oh yeah. Teddy yeah.
So yeah. Like they did, but it's weird because they didn't like play a lot of music around the house like you would see the albums. So it's like us as kids, we would experiment and stuff. What does this sound like? What does this do? You know what I mean? Before you break everything, like it's working right. Before you end up breaking it, you get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So like it was more so us doing like the experimentation, so to speak. That's why now like I'm like, you know, thinking about that with my daughter, because she's 19 months, so I play all kind of different stuff around her. You know what I mean? All the stuff that I never heard as a kid to like stuff like jazz, Ramsey Lewis, like it's so many composers, black composers also that was doing a thing back in the day. I was like, man, how am I just hearing about this now? But hey, I'm glad I got to hear about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean, before you leave here. So, but yeah, a lot of inspiration, man. A lot, you know, and even still, you know, to this day, like it's always something to be inspired by. I think more now it has to do with just, you know, trying to stay authentic, trying to stay true to myself, and not, I guess falling into the ego of everything has to be about this subject, or you know what I mean, that subject, but whatever just comes to mind, just, you know what I mean, let it flow, because I think like that's kind of how stuff like the movie music kind of project kind of came about. Okay. But yeah, those are my inspirations, man. Just like a lot of different artists growing up in that time period where it's like we could actually appreciate being outside more. And you know what I mean, family, like my grandfather played xylophone.
Wow.
Growing up.
Wow, that's dope. Then, on some Roy Ayers type stuff.
Yeah, and then like, and this was in the bottom of Philadelphia. So like that was an era where people would be walking down the block, hear him in the crib, you know what I mean, and then just kind of, you know what I mean, walk up to the crib. Can we come in? It was just like the time there was so different. You know what I mean? Come in, before you know it, you got, you know what I mean, 15, 20 people in the crib just listening to you, you know what I mean, do your thing. So, you know what I mean? And then my uncle, one of his sons played guitar, and then two of his other sons sang. And then I had my grandfather's brothers sang, but they never like actually record anything, but they would kind of like back in the day, you know what I mean, with the duo. Right.
You
know what I'm saying? Yeah. Walking up and down the block together, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, they don't do that no more. Just, you know what I mean, 3 or 4 brothers walking down the block, you know what I mean, do wop, she wop.
I bet, I feel you that.
Yeah, man.
Yo, that's what's up, man. And if you're just joining, this is Lab Notes, and I am the one-man gang. He is the writer, the performer. the writer, the performer, the personification of the word dope. I'm talking about the boy, Mel Alston Jr. Yep, so we sitting here chilling, talking to him. And you mentioned that you went to Howard University. What was your major when you were there?
Oh, man. So I started off in chemical engineering.
Wow, okay.
Right. Because I had two mentors. So, like, my mom was real good for, like, putting her sons in as many different things as possible, whether it be like a music camp, a art camp, science camp, engineering camp. Like her research was like junior, rest of soul 96. Mm-hmm. So like her soul was like there. So she made sure we was in everything just to see what we may be, right? What may actually influence us, you know what I'm saying? Inspire us to do things. So like I was in this math camp, you know what I mean, liked it, and I think I had two or three mentors who were chemical engineers. So you know, it was like kids it's always this thing where like parents try to beat into their kids is, you know, you gotta make money, you gotta be able to afford this and make that. So it's like, all right, well, maybe I'll do chemical engineering because they come out making 60, 70 grand. My first years, you know what I'm saying? I was in chemical engineering, but I wasn't doing grade wise at all, because it was like college, then you know what I'm saying? I was in the band, so you know what I mean, we was in the traveling band. So it was like I'm in a different city like maybe every 3 weeks or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I study when we get back. So like the first 2 years was tough. So like, you know what I mean? It wasn't until after that second year where like I had a long talk with my older brother. Mm-hmm. My older brother, side note, is Omar Tyree. He went to Howard University too, graduated. So like he was real good at like sending out. I mean, he had this thing where he would send out like a letter to you that kind of showed where you were, where you could be, and where your inspiration could take you based on how life is going for you so far. So I looked at it like, yo, this is cool. So it was like all my life growing up, I was into music and drawing. So like after my second year, I changed my majors from chemical engineering to graphic design. So I actually finished with a major in fine arts with graphic design, but a minor in chemistry, because I had, you know what I mean, all of them chemistry credits. Right.
Can't let them go to waste.
No, can't let it go to waste. But hey, you know what I mean? Put the chemistry, you know what I mean, in the words for the music. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, you can still use it.
Yep. Now you are. Oh, we got some people that joined the chat. We had a question from Lenny Bolds. I think somebody had already answered it, and that question was, is he from Philly? Because he's using the word John, and absolutely he's from Philly. If you use the word John, that is the only place on the planet where that word actually exists, where it created from, and all that. Exactly, man. So, let me keep pushing along. Now, when you played trumpet in the band. You played trumpet in the band, right? I'm just making sure I got that right. Yeah. Okay, so now when you played trumpet in the band, you guys performed, I'm sure, at sporting events, big crowds and whatnot. And now you're gracing the stage as a solo artist in various venues. How does performing as a part of an ensemble differ from performing as a solo artist?
The concentration of it, because like when you're in an ensemble, so like for example, playing the trumpet, there was a lot of music theory, so I had to make sure I had like a lot of the basis of things. So like playing the trumpet, it was always 3 groups. So you had your first trumpet, who would be the one screaming, playing all the high notes and like all the run stuff. Then you had the second trumpet, who was like right below them, playing like not the highs but kind of the in between. So it was like I was always in, you know what I mean, with the thirds. So it was like, you know what I mean, based on those braces I had, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't do all this, you know what I'm saying? And even if I did, it wasn't for long, because eventually like the braces were like, you know, irritating. Right. So it was like I would always be a third trumpet. So like as a third trumpet, you know what I mean, you could kind of blend in a bit, you know what I'm saying? It's not as much focus on you when you're a part of like an ensemble, but performing is so much more concentration, because it's like all eyes on you now, you know what I'm saying? So like especially now playing guitar, like I've been playing guitar now for the last few years, So that's a whole nother level. Like I have so much respect for guitarists. Not that I didn't before, but when you actually up there doing it, you like, man, it takes so much concentration, so much practice. Like you gotta play these songs, like, you know what I mean, like a few hundred times to the point where you can play it in your sleep. You know what I'm saying? But I think the biggest thing would be the concentration. You gotta make sure you remember your words, you got the flow of everything, and it's not only with yourself, but now with an instrument that you're playing. So it's definitely a lot, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it's fun.
All right, so now when you were on stage, right? I know that I've talked to people that say that being on stage can be kind of scary, right? Because some people have stage fright, some people have performance anxiety. But I want to know how do you deal with, you know, that ever evolving thing that's out there, you know, because performance anxiety and stage fright is a real thing. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's kind of like I'll use like the kung fu analogy or whatever. Okay. Because like as kids, like we grew up on like kung fu movies. Right. So like for example, my vocal coach, his brother named Holly Stain, that's in Philly. I used to go to him a lot, and he would have me doing these drills and stuff. So I'd be running and jogging. So it's like the first thing that came to mind was like these old kung fu movies that I used to watch where cats would be in certain situations and they would meditate during it. So it's like you're where you are, but mentally you're somewhere else. Right. So like whenever I'm on the stage, I'm there making sure that I have everything, but there's a part of me that's kind of not even there. Like I'm actually in my basement in my home playing, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean, pretty much going over everything. Cause like when I was first started singing, I would like make sure nobody was even in the house. I mean, like I go to all around the crib, ain't nobody home. All right, cool. Then I go in the basement, turn the music all the way up, and just, you know, sing my heart out. So like whenever I'm on a stage, I kind of take myself back to that moment where, you know what I'm saying, I'm in the basement, it's just me, you know, going in. And then even when I was working with my vocal coach and he be tearing me up, do it again, I would be on the beach, you know what I'm saying? Like I actually told him that like a few weeks ago. I was talking to him. I was like, Mr. Holly, you know that I was never really there with you. I was on the beach somewhere mentally so that I could get through that 25-minute workout that you had. You know, it was killing me. I was like, oh, I mean, I'm on the beach somewhere, you know what I'm saying? The waves are crashing. It's sand in between my toes. And then, you know, by the time I wake up, all right, cool, that drill's over. But yeah, man. I think it's like a mental thing where, you know, some people do different things. Like some people meditate before a show. Some people pray before a show. Like a lot of people actually do that. And me, I do both. But then when I'm on the stage, I'm like imagining that I'm back in my basement with the fellas. Right. And you know what I'm saying? We're not even there with y'all, but we there with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I.
That's what's up, man. So what was your most memorable time on stage? Because I mean, I know you've rocked plenty of places, man. So what was the most memorable one?
Oh, most memorable time. A few years back, we went to Harrisburg. Like a friend of mine's did some shows in Philly. So then we did the show in Harrisburg at the spot that he rented out. So when we got there, it was like a packed house in there. And like a lot of people knew the words to like a lot of songs. So that kind of, you know what I mean, threw me off guard. I was like, yo, this is dope, man. that was cool. And then like another show we did at the TLA years ago was actually my man Jay Griffey's show. Look him up, Jay Griffey.
Jay Griffey, word.
Yeah, he's actually in Atlanta now. So he had a major show he did there. And like me and the fellas was like backing him up. And that was dope. Like it was a packed crowd, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like we was all over the stage. And then I did another show there a few years later with my man Del P. He's a great MC too. Look him up, Del P. So we did a show at the TL too. And that was like his current project. And even that project was a lot about the state of times and like the fight the power vibe. So like for that show, we had like the all black leather, you know what I'm saying? Jacket on, you know what I mean? The flags up. So it was like a Black Panther kind of like vibe. So yeah, man, that joint was dope. Cause like when we rocked that stage, people wasn't like expecting that. Right. So real dope. And then like the most recent one we did at Green Soul, I had a great time at that one because I feel like that was probably one of the first shows where like after the show, like the manager from the venue came up and was like really interested in us rocking there. Like,
oh wow, that's what's up.
Every month. So that was real dope. Cause like I practiced so much for that joint, man. Cause again, you know, like the guitar, man, just getting the rhythm of it is definitely like a journey. So like after that, man, that felt real good.
That's what's up right there.
That's
what's up right there, man. And if we had a couple people join in, so I appreciate it. Welcome. If you're just joining in, that's right, man. If you're just joining in, you're tuning into Lab Notes, talking to artists from around the world. I am the one-man gang. He is the vocal vanguard, the singing sensation, and the consummate professional, my man Mel Alston Jr. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take some questions from the crowd real quick.
Cool.
All right, word. So I got a question in here from Andrea. Here by Andrea Ford. It says, how do you feel about artists who rely on auto-tune? That's a good question.
I think it's interesting because I remember like years ago when T-Pain said he was using it. Now a lot of people know T-Pain can actually sing.
Yeah, he can. Yes, he can.
Everyone sing his ass off with a love. So
that song,
like,
I'm Sprung? Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but he said he only used it because he liked the way it sound on his voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think it shouldn't be dependent on.
Right.
I think it's because it's levels to it. Like a lot of people use it, but you don't necessarily have to use it. So it's so obvious that you're using it. Like it's ways that you can use it when you're really just correcting the pitch, but you don't hear, I guess, like the flutter, so to speak, in between the notes where it's going from one note to the other. But you know what I mean? I think it's kind of like what people are doing now. I mean, it's almost like if you think back to when, you know what I mean, was it Zapp and Roger?
Yep, Zapp and Roger, yep.
First started. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like if they did it and instead of people, cause it seemed like when they did it, not as many people jumped on it and started doing it, but we wouldn't know because like back then it wasn't no internet, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
All these different avenues to know. So like I think now is, I mean, I don't use it, but I mean, hey, for artists who do it, you know, hats off. I think it's, to an extent, I think it is kind of cheating from a live standpoint,
right?
Because like now it's like I think there's a respect to really training and trying to get your craft down and like practicing. But it's like when you use it, I mean, even now you got cats to where they have it set where they can do it at live shows where they got auto tune into the mic is hooked up to a laptop or, you know what I mean, like a computer somewhere, wireless, where they got the auto-tune on. So it's like they even auto-tuning live. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I practice, man. I rehearsed all night, man. Straight up, like, so, you know what I'm saying? I think it's like a mix, man, like to each his own, but I try, you know what I mean? I try to, you know what I mean, stay away from that, man. I try to keep it raw.
Right.
As raw as possible. But hey, man, to each his own.
Nah, I hear you, man. All right, so like I said, if you got questions out there for Mr. Mel Alston Jr., please go ahead and drop it down in the chat. All right, we got a question from Lenny Bolds. He says, have you ever had a performance where things went wrong, where you can laugh at it about it now, and how did you recover?
Yeah, I had a lot of shows like that because you write so many songs, like you practice, you rehearse, and I've had several shows where I might have messed some words up, or like the next 2 bars just went blank, or like the next 4 bars went blank. So, but me and my people, we used to like freestyle, like, you know what I'm saying, over like hip hop beats or whatever. You know
Right.
So it's like I was able to dig in that bag and pull out like a 2-bar freestyle. Nobody would even notice, you know what I mean? Which is funny because like after the show, I would talk to my people like, yo, man, I messed up on that jump. Like, yo, for real win. I mean, we couldn't even song. Like, hey, you freestyle a couple bars, nobody could even tell. But I mean, outside of that, it's been probably 1 or 2 shows where like the mic went out and then we had to bring it back, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but outside of that, nothing catastrophic. Like it was one show where like the because we would normally roll with a 4-piece band, so it was like one show we did where the I think the keyboard wasn't working, so that kind of threw us off, because my man, like the keyboardist that we rock with, he would use 2 keyboards at the same time.
Right.
So even though it was a 4-piece band, in some cases it would sound like it was 7 of us, because he knew how to have one keyboard here set to an instrument, one here set, one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Second keyboard, he would have other instruments set. So it was like, yo, we just lost like 4 instruments from not having a keyboard. You know what I mean? So it's like, even in that, like, you know, you gotta have it in you to keep, you know what I mean, to keep it going. Like there's been shows where before I was rocking with the band and was like rocking with a CD, like for whatever reason, like the DJ's setup wasn't working right when I was supposed to perform.
Right.
So I would go in and do like some acapella, like I do like a Donny Hathaway.
Okay.
Or I would do like the Muzik Soul Child So Beautiful song, or I would do like some Maxwell or something like that, just to, you know what I mean, start things off. So, but like a lot of that stuff I got from like my vocal coach. So, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I mean, because you never know what's going to happen. So he'd always be like, man, you need to have like some stuff prepared just in case this happened. Like you should always have something prepared.
Right.
Based on what's going on in the world, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to be able to connect, you know what I'm saying, with people when you up there. Exactly. You know, they got to feel like they know, you know what I'm saying? Even though I used to get that a lot anyway, like, so many people would come up to me like, you look like my cousin, you look like my nephew. I get that enough, you know what I mean, as it is. Right. So, but yeah, man, nothing catastrophic, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like falling off the stage or like breaking my arm or like a light falling on my head. Nothing crazy like that, but more so like technical. Right. You know what I mean? Stuff gotta be snapped, you know what I mean? You gotta be like this, you know what I mean? Freestyle, or you know what I mean? Think of something real quick.
Gotcha, no doubt, man. Now, Malise Speaks 05 wants to know, this is specifically about your album covers. So she wants to know who's the person that does your album covers, because she believes that the concepts are really nice. And that is a true statement. The concepts are pretty dope.
Oh, thanks. Cat that did my album cover, name, matter of fact, I need to send it to you, because I can't think of his name off of the top of my head. Because that was years ago. But the cat that I went through named Doc Holliday Keenan, he might be on here, but he's not a local cat. But like that story is funny, because originally I was going to do the album cover, but like as a graphic designer and then doing music and writing and stuff like that, right, got kind of overwhelming. So I was like, well, me and my man Willie Stone kind of like put our heads together, and we was like, well, this is kind of the idea that we want to go for, as far as like the concept. And then the guy who I was working with, he did like a few covers for me for like some singles that I did. Okay. A while back. So we like what he did. So he was like, well, let's see what he does with the idea, because the whole concept, like the movie Music Cinema for the Blind, was really just based on like creating music that could be for film, you know what I'm saying? Right. And like the whole concept, really having it so it could be like a project that could be straight translated right into a movie, and then, you know, you have scenes and then go into a music video, and then have several other scenes and then go to a music video, you know what I'm saying, along those lines. But yeah, that's the vibe that we was going for. Like as far as the cover, we wanted something that looked organic and something that almost, because like we're like deep in the like Stargaze and like other dimensional, you know what I mean, multiverses and, you know what I mean, things of that nature. Right. Quantum reality, you know what I mean, quantum physics and stuff like that. So it's like, how could we let some people know what kind of vibe we on with it? Right. You know what I'm saying, without, I guess, showing or saying too much. I think somebody asked about the intro, who was talking in the intro. That was Bobby Hemmett. Okay. You can look him up on the YouTube. Pretty metaphysical, deep brother. He may be over some people's heads, but if you really listen to him, that boy got a lot of good info. So like that part where, you know what I mean, he was talking a lot about the music, we can really like relate to it. Because it's true, like, you know, music is at least should be the soundtrack to people's lives. I know Absolutely. It's like kind of different now, because you have so many instances where people are songwriters and you have production, so they give their songs to people. But I think it's a lot more authentic when it's something that you can relate to, something that you've experienced.
Right.
So when you're actually singing it, I mean, people could really feel it more. But yeah, I'm sorry, I can't think of the brother's name who actually did it. Sorry for that brain fart, but maybe during this, interview it'll come back.
Yeah, if it comes back, well, I'm gonna tell him shout out to making those album covers, my man. Whoever you are out there, Mr. Anonymous, we appreciate you. You killed it. Yo, Riley Roberts 23 wants to know, what artist today do you think holds it down in the R&B side?
Holds it down. I would still have to say Raheem DeVaughn.
Okay.
As far as like consistency, I wish D'Angelo had like another project or two.
Right.
So yeah, I say like from like the brother sort of standpoint, I would say consistency. I would say Raheem DeVaughn, Anthony Hamilton,
right.
Muzik Soul Child was doing stuff heavy. He did actually drop something not too long ago. But as far as like consistency, like yeah, I would say Raheem DeVaughn.
All right, word. That's what's up. And Rivera Live, Rivera _Live wants to know, what is your writing process? What is your writing process? What is your writing process and your inspiration for your songs? There you go. That's what he's asking.
Okay. A lot of it is like movies. Like I'll be watching a film or like a movie, and if there's a certain situation going on, depending on what's said or like how the guy reacts or like how the female will react,
right, I
like write a song based on that. Then a lot of it's based on like previous relationships, things I've gone through, right, and I guess at the time didn't know how to express myself, so a lot of times you end up like using like the music to do that. So I think it actually works out that way a lot. So like a lot of it's just pulled on like previous past experience, but then like movies that I watch too, like depending on what's going on, I'm like, man, that'd be a great concept. Man.
Right.
I gotta get that joint. Like.
Word. Hence the album, movie music, A Cinema for the Blind, right? That all came together.
For the blind, man. Once you be able to close your eyes, you know what I'm saying, listen to the music, kind of just visualize everything that's going on, man.
That's what's up right there.
It's almost like a triple meaning, because there's so much music out here nowadays that I think kind of blinds people to an extent to what like reality is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much ego stuff nowadays. I'm the hottest this, I'm the best dad. Right. I can't, it's just like, bro, like from the you know what I mean, from the beginning of it was never about that. Now everything's like this competition thing now. So you know what I'm saying? Right. Just trying to take the blindfolds off, so to speak. From that. That's really, you know what I mean, where like all the Stargate stuff comes into play too. It's like, man, enter the Stargate, leave the world you at now, and just come travel with us for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, that's what's up right there. I definitely travel with you guys as I was listening to movie music. My favorite genre in there is probably String Theory. String Theory, I love that voice sample, the way that's hitting those drums, man. I mean, it kind of push you know what I mean? And then that joint Purple, man, that just, man, that joint just gets at you, and then, you know, on a whole nother orgasmic type of plane and whatnot, man. What's your favorite? Yo, definitely, man. What's your favorite record off of that album?
Actually, mine is the same right now, man. It's between String Theory and Smoke and Mirrors. Okay. Because I think it's more so String Theory now, because I think based on like now, where you see more theories and more movies that's talking about like multiverses and stuff like that, like alternate universe, or like, for example, you know what I mean, it could be another you and another reality that's doing something completely different. Right, you know what I'm saying? So like with the String Theory, John, it's kind of like on that vibe, you know what I mean? Maybe another you, maybe another time. You know what I mean? So like the whole video vibe with that, you know, it's supposed to be on that on that tip too, where like
Right.
you know, there's me and like another universe that like stepped into this universe. You know what I'm saying? And then I see me and I'm like, come on, you with her now? Like, what's going on? Like,
word.
So, but it's interesting, man. But yeah, that's one of my favorites too. String Theory, man. That John knock, man, got the hip hop knock.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
man.
Weight wrestling.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean, going in, filling it out.
Dude, man, yeah, like I said, man, that's probably arguably my favorite record. I mean, that, and obviously my favorite Mel Alston Jr. song is "Can It Be" from back in the day. That, yo, the Michael Jackson sample on that. I wish I had more time, because I would play everybody these songs that we're talking about. But you got to make sure that you head over to Bandcamp and pick up that Mel Alston Jr. Man, I'm telling you, it's hot. Now you got a new joint called Ticket, which goes right along with that movie music theme, man. What was the process of putting that record together?
Well, that one was actually written by brother Greg Porn from the Roots.
Oh wow, okay.
I don't know how familiar you are with the Roots, but Greg.
Come on, man, I'm from Philly. Of course, I'm familiar.
Yeah. So Greg actually wrote that joint, then his man did the production on it. So like that joint, we actually had that probably like maybe four years ago. We did that joint. Wow. So I was like, man, based on everything that's going on right now, I want to finish that joint, kind of, you know what I mean, just go ahead and put it out. You know what I mean, because I always thought it was a good vibe, and it kind of spoke to me, like, with regard to just following your heart, like, you know what I mean, like, that's a ticket to heaven no matter what's going on, like, you know what I'm saying, if your heart is in it, you know what I'm saying, just keep doing it that way. Don't let people guide you in a way that you don't, you know what I mean, think is authentic, you know what I'm saying? So,
right, definitely, that's what's up. That's what's up right there. And if you're just joining and if you're tuned into us, man, we appreciate it. We got the illustrious Mel Alston Jr. on the line. This is Lab Notes. I am the one man gang. And Mel, I'm going to put you on the spot real quick, man, because we got some people out there that would love to hear you sing. Go ahead and let me hear you drop some bars for us, please.
What you say?
I said we got some people out here that would love to hear you sing, so I'm going to put you on.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No problem. Little buffering. I'm sorry. Now we got some people out here in the crowd that might want to hear you sing. Drop a few bars for us real quick, my man.
Oh, okay. Let's see what we gonna do. Well, can I pull my guitar out real quick?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can do that. All right, folks. We're gonna get an impromptu concert from the man. That's right, man. That's what I'm talking about. Go for it, baby.
We do. This one is called Come Back Down.
Oh, man, I love this joint.
As if I took you from mythology and stole you from a fairy tale and draped you in the moonlight and bathed you in the wishing well. I built a mansion on cloud nine so you can call heaven home, then dance across the sunshine. 'Cause forever is a place you own. And I don't wanna come back. I don't wanna come back. I don't wanna come back down. Your inner glow is so bright. I'm staring at you all night. I just want you around. And I don't wanna come back. I don't wanna come back. I don't wanna come back down. Your heartbeat is my soundtrack. My thoughts are where the stars at. Never wanna touch the ground. Your poetry in motion. Your lyrics are my favorite song. And I could write you all night long, yeah. Takes a choir of angels to sing your praise. Your words can live.
We buffering a little bit.
Still going?
Yeah, it's still going. Yeah, I was like, oh, man, it's buffering. Oh man, Mel. Hey, I tell you what, man. We definitely got a treat with that, man. I appreciate that one, brother, for real. Yeah, man. Cool. Hey, man, that was, and you know what, people, y'all see how professional this man was. He had his guitar right there on standby, grabbed the daggone guitar and started getting busy. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, yo, Mel, we're gonna wrap things up here in just a minute. Okay. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that people know, where can they get at you? How can people that want to connect with you, that maybe want to collab with you, that want to buy your music, where can they reach you? How can they reach you? And what's the best way that they can interact with you?
Say as far as the music, like, you could definitely catch that on like the Spotify or the iTunes. Like, I got like a Bandcamp page with everything on it, so you can go to melalstonjr.bandcamp.com. You know what I mean? So we can cut out the middleman, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Music. As far as reaching me, like, you can definitely reach me here on Instagram. Mel Alston Jr. Well, at Mel Alston Jr. It's the same thing with the Facebook, Mel Alston Jr. As well. Like, you can always email me at mel.alstonjr@gmail.com. Like, you know what I mean, as far as like reaching out for like collabs and things of that nature, or you can just drop me like a note on the gram or the Facebook. You know what I mean? Either way, like, I'm always down for like collabs. You know what I mean? Especially since we global now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done several collabs with cats from like Germany and Spain. Word. So you can reach out. You know what I mean? You can reach all over the globe nowadays. So yeah,
word up.
Down for that.
Definitely, man. Hey, Mel, I just got the ping from Instagram saying we got about 2 minutes left.
Okay.
So real quick, let us know one thing about Mel Alston Jr. that most people probably don't know.
Probably don't know. One I said, I actually said earlier that my older brother is like well, no, that's about my older brother. So I would have to say that I have a big love for comedy. So don't be surprised if you see me dropping like some comedy skits here in the future. Like, hold on, ain't that Mel?
Yo, and people might not know you got that. You got the acting bug too. I know we talked a little bit about the plays, but from what I've read, I know that you get the acting in too, which rolls all into movie music and whatnot, man. But yo, man. Mel, it has been an absolute pleasure sitting here talking to you. So I thank you very, very much for coming through, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Bro.
Definitely, man. Everybody in the chat, thank you as well. Appreciate the questions, appreciate the comments, man. Man. Hopefully you can look through the feed, see the comments, man. You got a lot of love out there from some folks, man.
That's what this is all about, man. Appreciate you, brother. I mean,
no doubt, man.
We gotta do this again sometime. I mean, definitely gonna have some more workouts, so.
Will do, man. All right, now take care, brother, man. Peace.
You, bro. Salute.